Welcome to this video. Hey, Excel, talking about descriptive statistics. So this kind of goes with lesson 8, but I'm going to kind of throw in all kinds of formulas so that you can kind of use this video throughout the entire class. So you can see here in column G that I just have some data, and this is the data that I'm going to use to find all my stuff. So I should have had these in here already, but we're going to find the mean, the median, the mode, the minimum, the maximum. Let's go ahead and find the range. I know we haven't quite gotten there yet, but we can do it. I want to talk about percentiles. And with that, we're going to talk about the 25th percentile and the 75th percentile. I also want to talk about the 10th percentile, just for fun, to show you how it can be done. Okay, so I'm talking about these things. Now, you'll see right now that I have this J3 cell highlighted, right? It's green. So since that is the box that is highlighted, that is where my mean, my answer is going to go because that's the box I'm clicked in, okay? So I'm in that box and I want to find the mean. Go up to the top, you see where it says formulas. Okay, so all of these formulas are under more functions, statistical, because we are doing statistical analysis here. Sorry about that. Mean is also known as the average. So when you're in Excel, you need to find the average. Now, you can see that it automatically kind of gives you some numbers here. Well, the easy way to do it is we know that the entire list of numbers here in my G column is what I'm going to use. I can click on the top one. I'm clicking and dragging. And notice how they are all like, in that circly box. And you can see the cell reference G1 colon G11. So you can either type that in, right? So I could type, if I didn't want to use that, I could type G1 colon G11, caps, lowercase, it don't matter, right? So I can type that in, hit OK, and boom, the average, look at the top right up in here. The average of G1 to G11 is 63. Okay, and when you click on that cell, if you were doing this, when I open your Excel function, if I click on this box, I can see your formula up here. And notice how the cell references turn blue and the whole thing turns blue. It's pretty cool. So I can see exactly what you're talking about. Now, I'm going to go to the median. I'm going to go back up to formulas, back up to more functions, statistical, and they're in alphabetical order. So I'm going to go all the way down to the median. Boom. And again, I want G1 colon, not a semicolon, regular colon, G11. Boom. There's the median. You could have also done the drag, right? So for the mode, I'm going to go ahead and do the dragging for the mode. Oh, okay. See how there's two mode, mult, and multiple. So we want to use the single because we want to find the number that appears most often, 1. So I highlight my numbers and I hit enter. What does this hashtag NA? No, we are not tweeting, right? That's not what this is about. This hashtag NA means all of the numbers appear the same amount of times. I obviously, when I was typing these numbers in, did not do any repeats. So there is no mode. Okay, minimum, again, more functions, statistical, down to the M's. You see the min. That's what we want, min. Again, highlight, drag in, click and drag, G1 colon G11. Okay, my minimum is 53. My maximum, I know by this time you're like, Becky, I get it. Yeah, well, deal with it. Maximum, we hit the max. I highlight G1 to G11 and make sure it actually says G1 to G11. I've been known to not quite get all my numbers when I drag because I'm, doing something else. Okay, now the range. There is no particular function for the range. You have to type your own in. Anytime in Excel you want to type your own function, you simply start with an equal sign. Now, to find the range, I take my biggest number and I subtract my smallest number. Well, my biggest number is maximum. So check out this cell reference. If I click on this, see how it's now blue and it's circulating, and it says G7, and I'm going to subtract. Notice how blue now became solid, and I'm going to subtract the minimum. I love how they're color coordinated, so you can see exactly what you're dealing with here. So I'm taking the max minus the min. I hit enter. Boom. My range is 28. Right? Does it all for you. Okay. Now, the reason, we're going to get to the percentiles here in just a second, but the reason it's good to use these cell references, What if I said, oh man, that top 56 was supposed to be 65. I displaced my numbers, right? If I change this 56 to a 65, watch what happens to all of these numbers. Shut up. I'm going to change it to 67, okay? But watch what happens in the J column. So if I change that to 67 and hit enter, boom, it changes everything. It changed my mean, it changed my median, and now I have a mode because 67 is now there twice. You know what I'm saying? Notice it did not affect the minimum or the maximum because 67 was in the middle of the data set, so it didn't matter. But it's there. So that's kind of the great thing about cell references is that if you change a number, it's going to filter through anything that you've used those cells for. So it's really super nice. Okay, percentiles. Now, when you go to functions and we go down, there's actually two different ways to do the 25th percentile. And of course, because I'm cool like that, I'm going to show you both. Now, when we just go to the percentiles, you see EXC and INC. Now, EXC means excluded. It means you are not using 0 and 1. Remember percents. 0% means nothing's happening. You got nothing. And 100% means you have everything. Well, when you use EXC, you're saying 0 and 1 or 100% don't count. Well, why would you not count them? They're part of the percentile. So we will always use INC. INC means included. 0 to 100%, all of them. So we would hit percentile INC. Now you see this array. Array means my numbers, G1 to G11. K represents the percentile. Now, 25%, remember, we can't play with percents. When we did them calculated in class, we couldn't use 25%. We had to use 0.25. Boom, there's my percentile. Now, I told you that I would show you a different way. Remember in class, we talked about the 25th and the 75th percentile being quartiles, right? Because 25, 50, 75 split our data into 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts are called quartiles. Well, if you look, and I really hope this works, if you look in the statistical measure down in the Q's, you have quartiles. Again, EXC, INC. If I use INC, gosh, I hope this works. Again, with the array, which quartile? Well, the first quartile is 1, right? 25 is the first quartile. Hit OK. Oh. The 25th percentile is the first quartile, so they should have been equal. Thankfully, it worked. You never know sometime with technology, right? So the 75th percentile could be done the same way. Something else to show you when you're using these a lot. Formulas recently used. Notice how there's my percentile. I can highlight. I'm talking about 0.75. Boom. 68 is my 75th percentile. Again, I can use the quartile. 75th is the third quartile because 50th is in the middle. It's 2. Boom. Same thing. Now, we will, by hand, we will only ever use 25, 50, and 75 because they can be done with the medians, right? So we will always use the medians. We will use the 25th, 75th. But if you have Excel, we can use percentiles, highlight my numbers, percentile, 0.10. There's 10%, boom. 10th percentile is 54%, right? You can find any percentile you want using Excel. Excel's fantastic, right? So I think, if I am correct, this is kind of all you need for this particular time. We'll get to standard deviation later. You're going to love that stuff. That's next unit. But remember, formulas, more functions, statistical, and then you can play with the ones that you need in here. So hopefully, I'm sorry it got to be a little bit long, but I get wordy. You guys know me. So hopefully this helps. If you need more guidance, this is Office 13, Excel 13. So if you have 7 or 10, its formula should be pretty close in the same spot. But let me know if you need help, and I will do my best to help you. Have a good evening. See you later.